The expert function is a plugin that you can get a lot of mileage out of. So to begin with, we're going to use a 2D object. I'm going to drag this down, and I'm also going to throw a material on this. So once we have a material, I'm just going to scale it up a little bit. And notice when we flip this or rotate this 2D object around, you do not see the backside. To remedy this, you can use the expert plugin. So when I drag the expert plugin down and go into its editor, what we can do is use this back face and turn that button on so that now when we rotate it, we see the back side of it. However, you do not see the material or the lighting, so if we go back into the expert, we can turn two-sided lighting, and now it picks up the lighting and the material on both sides of this 2D object. What's more, within the expert editor, we have a draw mode. By default, it's set to normal. We can also change this to wireframe. So when I change it on to wireframe, it creates a wireframe model of this object. Once we do that, the width becomes active and we can adjust the width of it. So this wireframe here means that if you have it on, it's going to go out onto air in wireframe mode, which is different from using this W button. This W button down here is just wireframe mode in the preview purpose. Under the draw mode, we also have an option for outline, which creates a stroke of the 2D object. And again, once you have the outline set on, you also have the ability to adjust the width of it. Now, you don't just need to use the expert on 2D objects. So if we go back and drag a 3D object such as this cube, we're going to put a material or an image on it. So we're going to drop this image on it and also change this image to reflection. And let's scale it up a little bit and rotate it so that we can see two sides. Now, within this cube, we have the ability to turn off certain sides. So I'm going to turn off the front. But notice when we do that, we do not see inside of this box. If we want to be able to see inside of this box, we can use this expert plugin to do that. And I drag it down, and it's the same settings as we used before, back face and two-sided lighting. You can turn that on, and now we can see inside of this cube. So I'm going to go back and turn my front back on, and I'm going to copy my cube a little bit and offset it a bit. We also have the ability in the expert mode to change the render mode. And this is kind of like a blending layer in Photoshop, so we can change it to add, a blend, a subtract, reverse, subtract, multiply, reverse, multiply. And you can see when we change each one of these how it affects the cube here. You can get additional changes when you have these render modes set by experimenting with the back face, the two-sided lighting, and also the Z buffer draw. So depending what type of image you have mapped to a particular object, you can get a lot of different results by using the combination of these things here. One other setting that you can use the expert for is what's called a mirror. So if we take two objects down here, we'll use a Nagi, and I'll just copy that one and offset it. And we're going to grab an image and throw them both onto these Nagis. Now I have two images here, so if I wanted to kind of flip one of them, I can use the expert to come in here and use the mirror. So by default it's set to none. If we change it to X, it mirrors it on the X. You can also mirror it on the Y and also on the Z.